Bananas. A tasty, nutritious, and slightly phallic fruit, are easily one of the most popular fruits in the world. In fact, their cultivation worldwide is currently only beaten by the humble tomato. It's safe to say that bananas are certainly doing well for themselves. Considering their success, it's easy to view bananas as a constant in our lives, a species that will continue to flourish so long as demand for their deliciousness remains. However, this may not be the case. In reality, biologists are suggesting that it might not be long before a banana is a rare sight to behold. It might seem ludicrous to suggest that such a popular fruit could go extinct, but actually, it has happened before. To explore whether there is a future for bananas or whether they are doomed, we need to explore the Great Banana Plague of the 1950s. In the 1800s, French explorer Nicolas Baudin was traveling in Southeast Asia. Here, he happened upon a tasty variety of bananas. He took some cuttings of these plants with him and delivered them to a botanical garden on the Caribbean island of Martinique. In 1835, a French botanist, named Jean-François Pouillat, took this variety of banana and began to grow them on the island of Jamaica. Before long, this banana was being cultivated on a large scale in plantations across Central America. Plantations were especially prevalent in Honduras and Costa Rica. Many of the bananas grown were exported to the USA and Europe. This variety of bananas was named Gros Michel, otherwise known as Big Mike. This variety grew large, tasty, and tended to have many bananas per bunch, making them easy to ship. In other words, they were the perfect banana. The Big Mike variety of bananas had only a single issue, which, as it turned out, was their fatal flaw. This type of banana was triploid, meaning that every cell in the banana had 3 versions of each chromosome. For comparison, humans are diploid, meaning we have 2 versions of each chromosome, where one is inherited from the father and the other from the mother. For most of the cells in the organism, the number of versions of each chromosome it has doesn't have a huge effect. There is one big exception, however, and that is the production of sex cells. Sex cells, like sperm and eggs in us humans, are produced by a process known as meiosis. However, in triploid organisms like Big Mike bananas, meiosis fails and sex cells cannot be produced. In short, these banana plants cannot produce pollen and reproduce sexually. Therefore, to cultivate these bananas in a new location, a cutting of the plant must be taken and replanted in the new location. This will grow into a new banana plant that, and this is key, is a genetic clone to the original plant. So, the plantations growing across Central America were all growing huge swathes of a genetically identical plant. But, surely this is great, all the bananas will be identically large, and tasty, as well as susceptible to disease. In the 1950s, a disease began to decimate plantations in Panama. Nicknamed Panama Disease, the leaves of infected plants would become yellowed, droopy, and eventually the stems themselves would split, inevitably leading to the death of the plant. A member of the Fusarium oxysporum species complex was found to be responsible for the devastation. This fungus destroys the phloem and xylem of the plant, preventing the movement of nutrients and water respectively. Although originally identified in Panama, the disease soon spread to neighboring countries, threatening the entire global supply of bananas. Thankfully, a solution was realized through the introduction of Cavendish bananas. Although potentially not quite as large and tasty as Big Mike bananas, this variety was said to be resistant to the fungus causing Panama disease. This was found to be true, and large plantations of this new variant were cultivated. Bananas continued to be tasty and everybody lived happily ever after. That was until the 1980s, when Malaysia began commercially growing bananas for the international market. Soon, banana plantations in this country were showing the symptoms of Panama disease. But how could this be? Cavendish were resistant to the Panama fungus, right? Well, as scientists discovered, Cavendish was only immune to the Central American strain of the fungus named tropical race 1, and not the strain of fungus found in the Malaysian rainforests, which was named tropical race 4. Just like Big Mike bananas, Cavendish plants were all clones of each other, so tropical race 4 was able to spread to plantations across the world. On the 3rd of March 2015, it was detected in Australia. Australia deemed it unfeasible to eradicate the disease and instead allowed affected plantations to continue to operate with strict biosecurity controls. In 2019, another significant discovery was made. Tropical race 4 was detected in Colombia, the first detection in the Americas, the location of the largest banana plantations in the world. Considering the previous extinction, it's not unreasonable to suggest that tropical race 4 could soon threaten the cultivation of bananas worldwide. Currently, scientists are scouring Asia for resistant species, producing crossbreeds of currently existing species as well as trying to genetically engineer a resistant form of Cavendish. However, currently, none of these avenues have yielded useful results. There is certainly potential for disaster to be averted, but it is possible that a site of a banana could become a rarity for future generations, if tropical race 4 continues to spread unopposed. Don't be afraid to explore to find answers, but beware, not all journeys will prove to be fruitful.